Welcome to Tales of the Lesser Medium, a podcast that pokes fun at video game narratives. I'm your narrator, Caleb J. Ross, and I'm joined by my co-host...
Hey kid, come on into my office. Yeah, shut the door. It's a bathroom. Don't touch anything. Don't mind the flies. Let's get down to business, shall we?
Yeah, that was my co-host. I think, hopefully, pretending to be a character and not just being Travis Terry, but I've known him a while. He might just be Travis Terry right there.
Plop.
As always, we'll be taking you through our favorite video game franchise narratives, interjecting with all sorts of hilarity along the way to make you laugh and to make us wonder if maybe payphones were just always used exclusively by hitmen. And maybe that's why we don't see payphones anymore, because maybe all the hitmen are dead from all the hitmenning.
Oh.
I think I only get like half the concept of what a hitman does. But
yeah, but I think you're also breaking it wide open. I mean, makes sense.
You're welcome, all you would-be hitmenies. I've destroyed them all. Today, we're diving back into the heart of Liberty City with Grand Theft Auto 3 Part 2. That's some kind of Final Fantasy nonsense naming there, but that's what we're doing.
Yeah, it's like Kingdom Hearts on crack.
Previously, on Tales of the Lesser Medium, we followed Claude, Liberty City's quietest criminal and loudest liability, as he clawed his way through the Liberty City borough of Portland. Betrayed by his girlfriend Catalina, sprung from a prisoner transport by a Colombian cartel, and immediately thrust into the city's seedy ecosystem, Claude spent the entire episode taking jobs from crime bosses that had him driving all over the island, mowing down pedestrians, and planting bombs.
Yeah, and he fell in with Luigi, the owner of Sex Club 7. I wish they would sponsor us, but they refuse to answer my calls. Chauffeuring dancers around and hunting down spank dealers. And he met Joey Leone, mob mechanic and heir to the Leone family, who put Claude to work blowing up street vendors, getaway driving for heists, and just casually murdering a man named Lips by turning his sedan into a pressure cooker.
Claude also stumbled into Marty Jonks, dog food entrepreneur, chronic murderer, and handsy psychopath whose entire storyline ended violently with someone else's body in a trunk. R.I.P. Marty, the ultimate grab-ass. The insurance company is still sorting out his death, I think.
Yeah. And then we watched Claude try to stay in the mob's good graces while triads ambushed him. Tony Cipriani hid behind his mother's note collection and refused to show his face, and half of Chinatown caught fire in the name of family business.
We learned that Catalina, Claude's would-be killer, is not only alive, but running the cartel's spank operation with Miguel, her new beau.
Yeah, and then Claude assassinated the only man with pubic hair in the entire sex club industry, Curly Bob. And he stopped a major spank leak, forced us to say the term spank leak out loud, and helped 8-Ball blow an entire freighter skyward, turning the harbor into a smoke cloud so big it violated the Geneva Convention.
But the big moment, Don Salvatore Leone got a little paranoid. Too paranoid, so paranoid, he planned to hand Claude over to the cartel just for existing. And because Claude's been banging the Don's gal Maria, who made everything worse by telling the Don she and Claude were, in fact, banging. If Claude could talk, he'd say there was no actual intercourse, and that, it's just all spank stuff.
Just
and that actually, his boss should be happy about.
Right, yeah, it was just some innocent spank stuff. Then at the end of part 1, we introduced you to Asuka Kassen of the Yakuza, who will very soon help Claude escape the Portland borough to Staten Island before Salvatore Leone can make good on his revenge.
It's Asuka Kassen of the Like a Dragon now. They changed the name.
Oh, my bad. My bad.
Okay. Act 2, Staten Island, which I think last time I kept calling Staten Island. But I think the way you say it is an actual place, so that probably makes more sense. We're going to go with Staten Island.
There is a Stanton in Virginia, and that's how they say it. I don't fucking know, dude. I don't fucking know.
Well, I mean, you live in Virginia, you know.
I don't live in Staunton. I don't live up there.
At least we know we're saying island right, I think. And that's the one that's spelled weird. I don't
Stanton Island.
Claude, Maria, and Asuka pull away from Portland and arrive on Staunton Island, Liberty City's commercial district full of gleaming towers, corporate money, and potentially less street thugs lurking around than back in Portland, but crime still lives here. Asuka brings Claude to her waterfront condo. She assures Claude he won't be unemployed long. She's Yakuza, and they always are in need of a dirty deed done. Asuka, somehow processing insider knowledge of Claude's entire Portland resume, lays out a simple loyalty test to onboard him with the Yakuza. Claude needs to kill, okay, he can do that, Salvatore Leone.
The Salvatore Leone? Mm-hmm. Oh, no, Claude, baby, don't do it. Don't do it. Mm.
Claude, never one to turn down a murder-for-hire plot, sneaks back across the bridge to Portland, knowing full well the Mafia and Triads would love to greet him with bullets, hugs maybe, and more bullets after the hugs. He finds the perfect vantage point near Luigi's club where Salvatore's entourage is about to shuffle him out to his limo.
All right, Mr. Salvatore, hey, your limo is here, and let me just say, we put a bottle of Prosecco in there, and it is to die for. I mean, literally die for. It is just so good.
Claude lines up the shot. One squeeze of the trigger, Salvatore drops. The family scrambles. Claude sprints away before any NPC can render fast enough to identify him.
Okay, well, I exaggerated some. It's not that good.
Back on Staunton Island, I'm committing to, I'm committing to Staunton Island.
Yeah,
okay, I'm doing
lean
it.
in.
Back on Staunton Island, Asuka is as delighted as a woman can be after casually commissioning the assassination of a major mob boss. She brings Claude deeper into Yakuza operations and introduces him to her dear older brother, Kenji Kasen, owner of the casino.
And this guy dresses like if Prince were Batman's butler.
Yeah, you're right. I like it. Kenji officially welcomes Claude to the Yakuza. Claude now works for his fourth criminal organization in, let me see here, under a week, which, frankly, is kind of incredible career mobility for someone who has not spoken once.
And it's baffling to me as a fellow unemployed. That's what we call each other. I say forget Indeed, forget Glassdoor, Zipper, or all that LinkedIn. I need to start sending my resume to the fucking Mafia.
And you know what? I thought about this. Getting to the Yakuza is actually really good for Claude since he exists in a video games where they couldn't render individual fingers. So they really can't punish him at all.
Yeah.
That's great. Asuka's next assignment for Claude is simple in theory, yet extremely violent in practice. See, the Mafia has been snooping around Yakuza territory trying to track Claude down for murdering their leader, Salvatore, and Asuka wants these goons removed. Claude grabs his usual toolkit, which includes, tools, hammer, screwdriver, that kind of thing. Also grenades, a sniper rifle, 2 Uzis, a machine gun, one of those ball and stick toys, to pass the time. Oh, and his leather jacket, which also has its own ball and stick toy. That leather jacket's rider has gotten crazy since fame got to its head. It doesn't even have fingers. And heads to Belleville Park. He finds the first pair of mobsters lounging near the fountain, taking in the sunshine and chatting about the good old days, as mobsters are wont to do. But 2 clean sniper shots later, the pigeons scatter and Claude moves on.
Dude, the shit pigeons have seen, man. Think about it.
Including their own shit all the time is what I hear about those pigeons.
Just flying
Next
rats.
stop, Kenji's casino, where more Mafia men are staking out the place from a building across the street. Clearly, Mafia men aren't very smart, and all of them hang out near windows where Claude picks them off one at a time.
Yeah, it's fun. Each time one gets picked off, he screams, causing another Mafia member to run over to the window, open it, and look out, only for him to get shot and scream, leading to the next one. It's like Mafia Man Whack-A-Mole, which is kind of ironic because the Mafia was there to literally whack a mole.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Thank you.
And that is my favorite way to play any of these games, these big open world games. It's just basically get one body just close enough to alert a bunch of dudes, and then by the end of, a good 30-minute murder session, you got a whole pile of bodies. It's so fun.
Just a pile of dudes.
Yeah. Job done. He heads back to Asuka's condo. Asuka thanks Claude by giving him more work to do, which is smart since he's clearly a killing machine and you kind of want to keep him busy lest his idle mind decide to turn on you.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, Asuka is being tailed by a reporter who's gotten a little too interested in her business. She'd like him to stop breathing. Excited and thirsty for more murder, Claude runs down to the waterfront, steals a police boat, which in Claude's defense still had the keys in it, basically begging for it, and chases the reporter around Portland's coast. The reporter guy zigzags through the river like a drunk kayak instructor before abandoning ship and trying to escape in a car. Dumb move, obviously, because see, Claude here, he's deathly allergic to water. If he submerges more than a knee in water, he'll die instantly. Claude, excited to leave the water, welcomes land, steals a car, and follows.
Dude, and even though he's silent, Claude's inner monologue when driving that police boat was just, water!
Claude closes the gap and manages to shoot the guy's engine through the windshield from his own moving vehicle and sends the reporter's car up in flames. Satisfied, he decides to attend therapy for the first time. Just kidding. He returns to Asuka looking for more murder stuff to do.
That therapist would really have their work cut out for them since he doesn't talk. He'd be like drawing pictures and shit, and all of them just gory. Like his red crayon just worked down to a nib.
Asuka decides it's time Claude met one of the cops on the Yakuza's payroll. Enter Ray Machowski, a man who looks like he has the record for the number of times he represented himself in divorce court. Asuka hands Claude a briefcase full of money and tells him to deliver it to Ray.
Claude looks at her suspiciously and she's like, oh, sorry, no killing on this mission. And he cocks his head to the side like a sad puppy and she's like, okay, a few pedestrians on the way over, but don't get carried away. And then Claude runs off with the briefcase and his tail's wagging. He's excited.
It sounds like an easy mission, honestly, delivering a briefcase. But there's some bad news. See, Ray is under suspicion from internal affairs, so the meeting has to be like really low key, which Claude is great at. So Claude follows Ray's bizarre instructions, answering ringing payphones across Staten Island, like he hasn't done that before, until finally Ray tells him his real location, the public restroom in Belleville Park.
Hey, kid, listen, I'm going to be real with you, all right? I'm on my 5th divorce. And when you divide your shit in half 5 times, that means you can no longer afford an apartment in Midtown. So I work and live here at the Park Shitter. Swing by, we can chat.
Interesting use of the phrase, divide your shit in half, as he's taking a dump. Sometimes you squeeze before it's all out. I get it.
I know, right?
If there's anything more suspicious than a corrupt cop meeting a hitman behind the swing set, it's both of them ducking into a men's room like they're about to discuss Pokemon cards, with their dicks out, of course.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I just want to be clear. I mean, honestly, It's weirder to talk about baseball cards with your dick out, I think.
I'm actually happy it was Pokemon cards, you know. I was concerned at first when I overheard murmurs in the bathroom about some dude getting a little Squirtle in his hand, which is honestly a super weird way to talk about trading cards, actually, even if it technically makes sense. But anyway, Ray takes the briefcase, accepts the payoff, explains that the secrecy is because Internal Affairs is watching him, and immediately offers Claude some, quote, extracurricular police work, unquote. Which, again, sounds like it involves Pokemon cards and dicks, but it's more likely Hitman stuff.
Yeah. I mean, my fingers would be crossed for more Pokemon stuff, just to be clear.
Claude crosses his fingers for more Hitman stuff and silently accepts. Ray's first real task for Claude is to tie up a loose end named Officer McCaffrey, a cop who decided that ratting out Ray to Internal Affairs was a good career move, and it probably would be a good career move if Officer McCaffrey wanted to be promoted to a ghost. McCaffrey is holed up somewhere in the Newport area, guarded by what amounts to a military parade. Claude approaches from the back, finds an open window, and lobs a Molotov cocktail inside. McCaffrey bursts out the door in flames, panics, jumps into a car, and tries to escape. Claude chases him down and shoots at his car until it catches fire and explodes.
Yeah, Claude then uses the hand crank to roll down the window of his vehicle.
Oh, God.
Sticks out his hand and catches McCaffrey's fried tongue and pockets it as a souvenir.
Claude returns to Ray, smelling faintly of gasoline, burnt tongue, of course, and justice.
Hell yeah.
Ray's got another, quote, friend who needs help. His name is Phil Cassidy, and Phil is a man who sells weapons the way most people sell lemonade, which is to say he sells them to children and without a permit, and the goods are always very, very wet for some reason.
Yeah, he sounds like a guy who knows a bit about Pokemon cards, if you ask me.
The Colombian cartel is gunning for Phil, and Claude is not exactly on good terms with them either. Claude heads to Phil's army surplus lot in Rockford, where Phil greets him, but the meeting goes south fast. Cartel goons swarm the yard, but Claude fights them off. Miraculously, Phil survives too. He only had 18 bullet wounds in his chest and back, and if we're being honest, most of them are probably fully penetrative shots, so maybe like 9 bullets total.
Oh.
I mean, that's not bad as 18.
Yeah.
Anyway, Phil rewards Claude with discount weapons, the most beautiful phrase a Liberty City resident can hear. An on-sale Uzi. Ooh. Claude returns to Asuka's condo, fully armed and ready for more blood.
Yeah, and when he gets there, she just pours him a glass of human blood to calm his nerves.
Does it work, you think?
I don't know.
Claude arrives expecting another verbose Yakuza briefing, but Asuka and Maria have gone shopping, leaving only a note.
Yeah, and sure, the noodle and laundry businesses are suffering, but the stationery business around here, the notepad business here in Liberty City, fucking thriving.
The note says that one of the Yakuza's drivers, Tanner, has been exposed as an undercover cop. He needs to go. Claude heads to Kenji's casino and soon spots Tanner slipping out, probably thinking he's still undercover. Claude tails him through traffic, then gets ahead of him and solves the problem with a single rocket shot. Which is good, because if you can't solve a problem with a single rocket shot, you're not a good hitman. Tanner's car disappears in a satisfying bloom of fire.
Claude runs over, though, to get a souvenir, but the rocket literally disappeared Tanner, his car, 2 shrubs, a possum, and a park bench from the earth. So Claude just takes some of the charred gravel from the parking lot and pockets that.
Man, this museum is going to be weird with all his stuff there, because it's going to be like body part, body part, body part, body part, and then it gets to the rock, and the person's going to be like, you just murder rocks now? That's okay, I guess. You just kill everybody?
Mm-hmm.
With the ashes settling and Kenji's casino conveniently next door, Claude strolls inside for his next job. Kenji's latest crisis is that one of his top Yakuza men have been arrested and locked up inside Liberty City Police Headquarters. It's the kind of problem that in any other town would require lawyers. In Liberty City, though, it just requires one silent psychopath and a bomb. Claude heads downtown, steals, of course, a police cruiser, while the cop was taking a piss, and drives it to 8 Ball's bomb shop for a little, quote, aftermarket modification. With the cruiser now full of explosives, which voids the warranty, by the way, Claude rams it into the back of the Liberty City Police Department and blows a hole in the wall. He then hops out and walks through it like he's delivering DoorDash.
Simpkins! Is there a Simpkins? I have your pad thai. Oh, that's right. Claude can't speak. So I guess he just does like any good DoorDash driver would do and leaves it at the stoop and fucks on off.
Claude spots Kenji's man, grabs him, steals another cop car. Remember, his last one has exploded into the side of the police headquarters, so he needs a new one. And he outruns half the police force in the city on his way to the dojo at Bedford Point. Thank goodness cops in this city are impatient, because after 15 minutes of buzzing the city like a mob of angry hornets, the cops, they just give up. and then Claude's just in the clear, I guess. Another day, another 500 or so felonies. Claude returns to the casino for his next life lesson from Kenji.
I would love to see that press conference.
All right. I'm gonna answer some questions here, but before I get started, a few ground rules. Okay, number 1. No asking questions about my ex-wife, all right? Number 2, no asking questions about my ex-wife's new and very handsome husband, okay? Number 3, only questions about why we give up 15 minutes after starting a chase. Those are the only questions you're allowed to ask. Anything related to that situation is fine. Number 4, no asking questions about my ex-wife again. All right, I think that probably covers it. All right, yeah, you look like a Dave. Go ahead, go.
Hey, Officer Jimkins, this is Dave Buwald from Liberty City Daily. Curiously, the criminal escaped. How long did you look for him? What was the level of effort to try to apprehend this felon?
Okay. Good question. Which is something you will never hear other police in my position saying. Good question. So note that I'm addressing your question as good. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Next question, please.
Sir, this is Dave Buwald from Liberty City.
Was it another Dave Buwald over here?
I believe it was daily. Could have been weekly. Question. Looking at the video, it looks like police gave a hearty search for the felon for about 15 minutes before it seemed like the search died down. What happened at that 15-minute mark to make you think, oh, I think we're good?
Well, you see, the perpetrator rounded a corner very quickly, you see. That's about it, really.
It's Dave again.
Oh, there's three of you guys. Okay.
Yeah, so...
You guys know each other? All you three Daves?
We're brothers. Yeah, parents weren't
That's
very creative.
weird.
Yeah, it's all three of us. We all work at the Liberty City periodical place. Question.
That's a good news. My favorite newspaper, the Liberty City periodical place. It's good. I like your guys. The word searches, top notch. I like them because there's only 3 words in them. I can do those.
Yeah, Dave does those. Yeah.
Oh, man, your brother Dave, or is there another Dave?
No, all brothers. Yeah. We're the Dave family. Anyway,
that's cool.
To get back to the question.
Sorry, yep, this is your thing. This is not mine. I apologize.
Yeah, it seems like there's been a lot of, there's explosions and murders and things going on in the city. You're not catching the criminals. You're just kind of letting them go. You're just kind of letting them be free. Are there still concerted efforts to apprehend these folks, or have you just kind of given up?
Pretty much given up.
Oh.
You see, what we learned very recently, actually, is that our prison is not very good, right? And every time we apprehend an individual, they tend to escape, whether that be by bomb, by car full of bomb, by just walking out sometimes, with a bomb, without a bomb. It really doesn't matter. There's a lot of bomb shops in the city, and as police officers, we want to make sure the small businesses stay afloat. So we decided it's probably easier if we just kind of let them go, And I'll be honest, it's been a lot easier. My job is way easier. I can get the 3-word crossword puzzle every day, and by 10 a.m. It's so good. Feeling honor-bound, Kenji explains that a gentleman once did him a favor and was never repaid. To restore his dignity, he sends Claude out to retrieve 3 pristine cars for the man's collection, with emphasis on pristine, which is a tall order for Claude, who is well known to drive like a fucking meteor.
Even though he's silent, though, I would like to see Claude only communicate through charades, and he's trying to ask, it's like, if he can hit just a couple pedestrians. He's like really pleading, really gesturing, and Kenji keeps saying like, no, you can't, though, no. And Claude's like, what about just one? And Kenji's like, okay, just one pedestrian.
One pedestrian. But it's got to be a soft and squishy one, Claude, okay? These cars need to be pristine. He really is. Claude really is careful this time. He still doesn't stop at the traffic lights, nor does he avoid driving on the sidewalks, but he does avoid crashing into anything, at least at any speed greater than 10 miles per hour, except for that one squishy pedestrian. But he was allowed to do that, so it won't count against him. Mm-hmm. Claude delivers all 3 vehicles in flawless condition, which is honestly more impressive than any of the murders he's committed so far.
Yeah.
Kenji, pleased with Claude's work, offers another lecture in Yakuza etiquette, which Claude receives with the same enthusiasm a magician does when filing a missing rabbit report.
I like to imagine, because Kenji, he likes to preach the etiquette. I just imagine Claude pantomiming, wanking off to communicate to Kenji that he does not care for these etiquette lectures. Which is bad etiquette. You shouldn't do that.
Once again, Claude doesn't have Pinky, so he can do whatever the fuck he wants in the Yakuza.
That's right.
Kenji regards this as poor etiquette, but eventually reveals the next problem for Claude to help solve. Per Kenji, the Yakuza protects many businesses around Stanton, and apparently it's rent collection day. Claude's orders are to gather 3 briefcases of cash from Yakuza clients. The first pickup is smooth, no gunfire, no ambush, nice. Honestly, that's kind of suspicious in a city like this. The second pickup is guarded by a guy with an Uzi. Claude shoots him, retrieves the briefcase, and moves on. This felt more normal to Claude. Suspicions lifted, no sweat, just one more briefcase to go. But, turns out, the third briefcase has been stolen by a local gang, forcing Claude to return to Portland, where pretty much everyone wants him dead.
I would say, hey, two out of 3 briefcases? Not bad, right, Kenji? Can we move on with just the 2 of the 3?
Yeah. And we don't even know if the third one even actually had money in it. Like, he doesn't open these briefcases, you know? Let's just assume that the money was already gone. Right?
Yeah.
Claude heads to the courtyard in Hepburn Heights to retrieve the last stolen briefcase. Predictably, it's not just sitting on a bench with a polite note. No, instead, a crew of gang members hopped up on bath salts is waiting to defend it.
Yikes. But imagine if they were hopped up on bath pepper, huh?
Oh, God. It's not a real thing, Trav, okay? It's not a real thing like shower garlic or moist towelette Mrs. Dash. Those are real things, okay? You do not want to fuck with a criminal all doped up on the dash.
Oh,
man.
doped on the dash. Oh.
Claude pulls out his trusty sniper rifle from his largest pocket, I guess. It's the same sniper rifle he uses for everything from mafia hits to removing pigeons from legends when he's bored, and he drops all these mofos. Pop, pop, pop. He grabs the case and heads back to Kenji's casino. Kenji will be so happy to have his briefcases back.
Yeah, I bet. Seems like he really loves these briefcases.
When Claude returns, Kenji is livid.
Well, what?
Yeah, despite Claude's last 12 hours of nonstop murder, the Jamaican Yardies are still operating on Yakuza turf. This displeases Kenji. More importantly, it means Claude now has homework, as Kenji wants 8, count 'em, 8 Yardie spank dealers wiped off the map. He doesn't want them arrested or scared off or even politely redirected to another district. Dead. And preferably before SNL comes on.
Oof. And Claude checks his watch and he's like, man, Alec Baldwin is hosting again, and he's pretty over his opening monologue. So instead he gives himself to like 11:40 Eastern. 11:30 would be overdoing it. Doesn't want to, just in time for the skits. Let's just do it in time for the skits.
Worst case scenario, okay? I missed the first skits, but so help me God if you make me miss Weekend Update.
Mother.
Oh, no. So, armed with, well, weapons and no other intel, Claude hits the streets and hunts the 8 dealers down, one by one, turning Staten Island into a spank-free, Yardie-light environment. Bang, 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 Yardies all die. After the 8th one hits the pavement, Claude returns to the casino, hoping that Kenji will be in a better mood, and discovers a new development in his criminal career. Kenji is out of work for him?
Oh, dude, and I've been there. It's tough. It's hard not to take it personally. Kenji was like, look, it's not a you problem. It's just that we're not getting the funding we need to support your position at the moment. And you're like, come on. Yeah, I know.
It's tough out there. It's tough.
It's tough.
Luckily for Kenji, Claude doesn't take it personally, because that would likely result in Kenji's own murder, and also because no one can really tell if Claude takes anything personally because he's a vapid silk screen of emotion.
He just takes both thumbs and points them to himself and makes a sad face. Me?
He has fists in his eyes like he's wiping away tears, But since Kenji's well of jobs has run dry, Claude goes back to the only cop he trusts, and the crookedest one in all of Liberty City, Ray Machowski. Ray is still holding secret meetings in the Bellevue Park restroom. Claude swings by for a little piss and a chat.
Yeah, Ray's sitting in there. He hears the footsteps come into the restroom. He's like,
Hey, Claude, is that you? Claude!
Claude slides a note under the stall. Doesn't have anything written on it. Ray's like,
Oh, yeah, that's got to be Claude. It's got to be it.
Let me finish the Squirtle real quick. I don't know. I already used Squirtle. You can cut that. Wait. So mute people can't write? That's a bummer. As I thought that was like the thing that they should be best at. Like how Daredevil is blind, but he can hear good, and how Spider-Man can crawl on walls, but he's bad at not getting stomped on, like spiders do.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, jackpot. Ray has exactly what Claude needs. An opportunity for more felonies.
Yes.
This time, Claude's assignment is to chase down a truck carrying evidence that could incriminate Ray's rich and very powerful associate, Donald Love. Claude's mission is to ram the truck repeatedly until incriminating documents spill out like a piñata.
It's a weak plan and a far-fetched one. I mean, what could convince Ray that ramming a truck repeatedly will make specifically important documents spew out of it? I mean, Claude, not one to question a plan or anything for that matter, goes along with it. But in the back of his head, even Claude has to be thinking, this is kind of horseshit.
Yeah.
But with that, his next crime spree begins.
Claude tracks down the evidence truck and begins to ram it until documents fall out. Okay, it worked. Each hit shakes loose a new piece of incriminating material. 6 incriminating material pieces in total. The police obviously notice the mayhem, but Claude ignores them. He's found that you can get away with anything in Liberty City as long as you look confident doing it. So he finishes the job and torches his own car so the evidence goes up in a dignified, flaming pyre of plausible deniability.
Hell yeah.
He heads back to the park restroom, aka Ray's office, only to find Ray in a panic.
Claude, it's Taco Tuesday. Do you know what that means, Claude? My office takes a huge hit because everyone takes a huge shit at around 8 p.m. on Taco Tuesday. Let me tell you, Claude, the people that frequent this park restroom, they aren't beacons of health, Claude. We're dealing with homeless, vagabonds, people who don't respect the public restroom. Claude's a massacre down here every Tuesday. The screams up, Claude, the screams. The blood, Claude, the smells.
Oh, that's great. Actually, Ray suspects his own police partner is a rat. And in Liberty City, being a rat ranks slightly above not being a rat on the list of reasons to get murdered.
Those are actually the only two things on the list, right? Reasons to get murdered. Number 1, being a rat. Number 2, just not being a rat.
Makes less sense, that one.
Yeah.
Ray says the rat goes fishing at night on Portland Beach. Claude's assignment is to give the rat to the fishes. So Claude steals yet another police boat, which at this point, they're so easy to steal, you have to wonder if he's just stealing them from people who have already stolen them. He speeds to the Portland coastline and finds Ray's soon-to-be ex-partner on a small boat of his own.
And you gotta think, it's hard to be casual on a boat and get close to someone else on a different boat who's night fishing in a weird location, especially if you don't talk. It's real hard to be like, what's up? I'm just here naturally here close to you. Don't suspect nothing, okay? Hey.
The proverbial road upon which we float is literally infinite. But trust me, it just happens to be, the case that I'm just here, Like, actually, if you could move your boat so I could get around, that would be great. You're kind of in my way, honestly.
Would you scoot over? I'm trying to catch some fish specifically here as well.
Yeah. This is where the fish hang out, is what I hear. The guy spots Claude, becomes suspicious, of course, probably because of the police boat paired with a very not police officer, and the guy immediately floors it, okay? A chase erupts across the water, with Claude firing the boat's mounted machine gun, while the rat starts dropping explosive barrels behind him, all Donkey Kong style.
God, yeah, it makes you wonder. I mean, how is he able to hold so many barrels on that little boat?
I mean, it does not work, actually, this whole situation. I mean, it comes close a few times, and Claude is lucky to have survived, but ultimately Claude weaves, dodges, and maneuvers around the highly explosive Donkey Kong barrels without major issue. But note that Claude never jumps. So that's a different video game character.
That's right.
The rat's boat, now aflame from the machine gun bullets that have passed through it, eventually careens into the shoreline and goes up like a 4th of July mishap.
Yeah, Claude sticks out his hand and catches a little piece of a carp's fin. Pockets it for a souvenir.
Now he's killing fish? This is a weird museum you've taken me to, Mom. Claude sits and watches the fire until it dies down, then checks his watch, realizes he's still on schedule, and heads back to Ray just in time to catch, live from Liberty City, it's Saturday night!
Which confuses Ray because the whole time he thought it was Tuesday all day. You lose time in the bathroom down there. It's crazy because he was real worried about that taco situation, but it's actually Saturday. Duh. Every day is just a whirlwind of grunts and shits and spank addicts spanking. I mean, it's really hard to keep a good, tight schedule down there, so I get it.
I mean, it could be quite a bit worse. Maybe people have thought, I don't just need to eat tacos on Tuesday, and Taco Saturday has been invented. Ray now has to think about that. Ugh. Ray, now operating at a stress level normally reserved for bomb diffusers and kindergarten teachers, probably, informs Claude that another witness, someone who can actually testify against him, is alive and being transported by ambulance from Rockford Hospital to give a federal deposition. Ray's instructions to Claude are to make sure that ambulance never arrives.
And Claude is ecstatic. He's killed a lot of people, but he's never killed an ambulance.
Can't wait to add those flashy lights to his wall of souvenirs.
Yeah, that's right.
Claude tracks down the ambulance transporting Ray's would-be witness and intervenes, let's say. He smashes the ambulance until its back doors fling open, and a man wrapped head to toe in plaster just tumbles into the street.
Man, now Claude thinks when ambulances get scared, they shit mummies.
Claude sizes up the situation, gets a nice long runway, drops. Can you imagine if our shit was already pre-toilet papered?
That'd be kind of cool.
That would be amazing. So much cleaner.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, all right, back to the story. Claude sizes up the situation, gets a nice long runway, drops the accelerator, and sends the plaster mummy into the afterlife, Rocket League style.
Nice.
Satisfied the man will no longer be providing testimony or breathing, Claude returns to Ray's porcelain office. But Ray isn't there. The bathroom is, for once, empty.
Yeah, and Claude's thinking, man, where's Ray? Oh, I bet he had to go use the restroom. So meanwhile, Ray is in the middle of the park squatting his shit into the fountain because you don't shit in your own office, Ray says all the time. You know, Ray's slimy, but he's not a monster.
Claude takes this opportunity to take the first solo shit he's taken since prison, ironically.
Huh.
But with Ray gone, he'll need to find someone else who pays for crimes.
Which, you know, you got to think, that was pretty tough to do in the days before Craigslist. You know, what's Claude to do?
Claude heads over to Donald Love. Love is a billionaire mogul of the Love media empire, and a man who gives off the vibe that he has at least tried to eat an intern. Donald greets Claude with a warm handshake and an etiquette lecture Kenji would weep over, including how to stand, how to bow, and how not to track blood onto the carpet.
Yeah. Claude immediately slips off his shoes, embarrassed at all the gory blood tracks he's already left around the office. He's like, oh, God. Embarrassed.
Then the two get down to business. Donald's friend, they start dancing first, then they talk business. Donald's friend from overseas is being held hostage by the Colombian cartel. Donald needs him rescued discreetly, which Claude interprets as loudly and with several murders.
Huh. Oh, yeah. Discreetly, concretely. People scream when I bury them alive in concrete. Screaming is loud. Screaming, murder causes screaming. Discreetly must mean with several murders. So then Claude nods. Got it.
Words are hard. Okay? Which is a perfect segue to our sponsor for today's episode, the dictionary. All right, just a regular dictionary, I guess. Play the ad.
Okay.
Hey, it's me again, Peril McLavender. You know, the guy with good ideas. My Mr. Human head toy for child potatoes didn't do so hot, despite hot being something people often associate with potatoes, like that game about the sexy potato. It makes sense if you own a dictionary and know what the words hot and potato mean, but what if you don't know what a dictionary is, right? That's a problem, and it's why I invented the dictionary. Sure, it's easy to understand the concept of a dictionary if you already know what a dictionary is, but what if you don't? You got yourself a real chicken and egg situation. So my dictionary defines for you the word dictionary. That's it. It's a whole book with just the word dictionary in it. Well, more of a pamphlet. And the real genius is that by using the word dictionary twice in the name of the product, you don't even need to buy another book to learn what the full title of my book means. You see the word dictionary and you think, I wonder what that word means, right? Then you open the dictionary and you learn the meaning of the word dictionary right there. Then when you go back to the title of the book, you see the next word is dictionary. And you already know that word. You just learned it. The dictionary proves its value immediately. All right? But don't come looking to me for what other words mean. I'm not a dictionary guy. That's someone else. I'm the dictionary guy. Go to a different pamphlet store for that guy. I think it's a good product idea. I mean, how do you learn what a dictionary is?
Seriously, yeah. You wouldn't
Answer
know
that
to
for me.
open a dictionary and flip to dictionary to know what you got in your hands, right? So this makes total sense.
Yeah.
Genius.
I've been in that situation. I'm holding a book. I don't know what the book is. It says some weird word on the cover. I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do with this. So then I just leave it. I leave it on the ground where I found it.
What is this
Yeah.
for?
Well, it's weird. In the dead of night, Claude steals a cartel gang car to gain access to the secure garage complex, drives in like he's confused their garage with that of a drive-through Jiffy Lube, and wipes out an entire squad of Colombians guarding the place. After clearing the garages, Claude rescues the hostage, Donald Love's friend, an impeccably calm man with no name that we'll just call Bill. Claude escorts Bill back to a thankful Donald Love.
Hey, thanks for rescuing Bill. And Claude's like, oh shit, no way, really? I was just guessing his name was Bill. That's so crazy. Oh my God. But he just nods.
Yeah. And he can't communicate to anyone that he was right about that. I mean, that's something you want to brag about. He can't do it. You know?
Can't even prove it. He didn't even say it out loud. You know?
Dang it. That sucks. Donald Love reveals his newest business venture, which happens to be the trusty old real estate manipulation through orchestrated gang warfare bit. At some point, you can become so rich that zoning laws just no longer apply. His plan is simple and deeply unethical. He's going to tank property values by starting a gang war, then buy everything cheap. But to kick it off, he needs someone to assassinate a high-ranking Yakuza and make it look like the Colombian cartel did it. Who could that someone be?
Claude raises his hand looking around and realizes he's the only one in the room.
Claude steals a Colombian cartel cruiser, a vehicle that might as well have "Not a Yakuza" spray painted on the side, and drives to a multi-story car park in Newport where a Yakuza leadership meeting is underway. At the top floor is his target, Kenji Kasen. That's right, Asuka's brother, one of Claude's employers, and ironically, one of the only criminals in this city who ever tried teaching Claude manners. Will Claude have a change of heart and decide not to go through with this? Do relationships mean anything to Claude?
Good questions. I would say...
Not real questions, Travis. Didn't want you to answer.
Okay.
In the time it would take a normal person to roll their eyes at that thought, which is what you should have been doing, Travis. Once again, not real questions. Claude plows through the guards, takes heavy fire, and kills Kenji while still in the cartel cruiser, selling the illusion that the Colombians have launched a direct attack on the Yakuza. The seed of a gang war is planted. Property values tremble and quake through the region. Claude drives back to Donald, who greets him with underwhelming gratitude, like Claude just picked up dry cleaning or something, instead of sparking an international crime conflict by killing one of his own associates.
God damn, poor Claude, not even one attaboy.
Donald's next task is no less unhinged. A light aircraft will be dropping 6 packages into the water near the Callahan Bridge. It's the classy, subtle way rich people smuggle things. Claude heads to the jetty by Asuka's condo, hijacks a boat, not a police one this time, he's sick of those, and races to the drop zone. Packages splash into the water like a cocaine-themed Easter egg hunt. Claude fishes each one out.
Yeah, which is no surprise because Claude has won the Liberty City cocaine-themed Easter egg hunt 4 years running. No one else even comes close.
He's the only one that partakes in a few of the Easter eggs beforehand, and he's just on it. He's going. But as he collects the last one, he notices a police helicopter on his tail, which likely means whatever is in those packages would send a normal man to prison for 4 consecutive lifetimes. Of course, here in Liberty City, punishment is lighter, but no less an inconvenience.
Yeah, here they just take your guns and a bunch of your money and then toss you back out onto the street.
Claude races the boat back to the jetty, sprints to a car, and speeds across Staten Island while being chased by an angry helicopter, several cruisers, and a wanted level with so many stars that Yelp is impressed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I give this police chase 4 stars. I mean 3. I mean 2. Okay, good, I can handle this one. He crosses his fingers, though, that the helicopter meets a Tales of the Lesser Medium end, as is natural, but it doesn't. He manages to lose the heat after zigzagging around the city, and he finally reaches his destination in one piece. He delivers the packages intact to Donald. Somewhere, a helicopter co-pilot's screams of profanity are drowned out by the whoring blades.
Son of a goddamn! I thought I saw it. Fuck! He keeps getting away. Why get it? Shit!
I'll spice in some helicopter noises. Make that fun.
No, I got you. I've never made helicopter noises before. This is going to be fun.
Where the fuck? I can't find it. Where the fuck you go? It's gotta be here somewhere. Fucking goddamn! Get lower!
I don't know if that helicopter should be flying. Act 3, Shoreside Vale. With the lift bridge to Shoreside Vale finally repaired, Liberty City expands for Claude once more. He can now reach new neighborhoods, new employers, and significantly better paying crimes. But before leaving Staten Island for good, he figures it's best to let things cool down, particularly the part where he's been ramming evidence trucks and blowing up half the waterfront.
Yeah.
So he heads back to Belleville Park to check in with Ray Machowski at his office inside the dank confines of the Central Park shitter. Ray has news. Ray's news is bad.
Claude, listen, buddy. Taco Tuesdays have been a real boon around here. They're also going to do Cabo Wabo Wednesdays, tacos again Thursdays, and undercooked fajita Fridays. I'm dying down here, Claude. The diarrhea is just too thick. I need Lysol, buddy. I need a fast.
So I'm confused. Is he now shitting in his office, or is that the sound of him trying to...
Oh, I shit in there. I've been shitting. Yeah, I've been shitting. I don't feel good. I think I got listeria.
I just didn't know if he had a tough time smelling, you know? He's just... oh, I don't want to breathe in all that diarrhea. Apparently, the CIA has taken an interest in Liberty City's spank situation. Specifically, the fact that crooked cops and freelance murderers keep interfering with Colombian operations. Ray is now officially too visible, and the CIA would prefer he stop existing in this city. Ray's solution is to take on a career reinvention, i.e., leave town immediately.
Listen, kid, I need to leave town. You know I do. I got a buddy down in Florida who lives near a new sports multiplex. It's got a brand new public restroom facility. I mean, sharp, looking good. I'm looking forward to some new digs down there. New smells, new grunts, new hand soap.
Claude agrees to escort him to Francis International Airport, and as they cross the lift bridge toward Shoreside Vale, CIA agents open fire, turning the bridge into chaos. Somehow, miraculously, Claude gets Ray to the airport alive. Ray disappears into the terminal, presumably to reinvent himself as a fishing guide or a podcast host, a Florida resident, or perhaps all three, I don't know.
Who knows?
With one less criminal sugar daddy around town, Claude then heads back to Donald Love, who greets Claude with panic. Donald explains that those packages Claude recovered from the water were decoys.
Aww.
That's a confusing thing to pick up from the water. The real cargo was hidden aboard the plane itself. That is, until the port authority seized it and began dismantling the aircraft. Donald, being Donald, handled the problem by bribing everyone involved. Now all Claude has to do is retrieve the actual packages from Francis International Airport.
Oh man, we just came from there.
Claude heads back to the airport, quietly eliminates the Colombian guards on site with his sniper rifle, and approaches the plane, only to find it completely stripped. No packages.
Man, those poor guards just die guarding nothing. Ugh.
The first time someone has died in this game for no reason. Oh, that sucks.
It's a real fucking shame.
Yeah. But nearby, he spots a suspicious van, which is one of the more redundant phrases in existence. I've never seen a van and been like, it's normal.
Legit operation. Even if it's got a decal
van
on the side that's like Stan's Plumbing, I'm like, they're kidnapping women.
Yep. Claude follows the suspicious van, which leads Claude to the Panlantic construction site in Fort Stanton. It's basically an enormous, unfinished skyscraper crawling with Colombian cartel soldiers. Claude storms the compound, fights his way through floor to floor before finally reaching the top. Turns out the stolen packages weren't taken by some faceless cartel middleman, not just any weirdo in like a suspicious van. No, they were taken by Catalina and Miguel. His ex,
who tried to kill him, and her newer, more talkative, presumably Bo?
I'm gonna say Bo. Yeah, I'm gonna say Bo.
Yeah.
Bew is good though. I think if we want to go with Bew, we're gonna start a thing here.
I read them like I see them sometimes, you know.
Man, we need to find one of those pamphlet guys who can help us define and pronounce that word. And before Claude can react, Asuka arrives, furious, grieving, and fully convinced the Colombians are responsible for her brother Kenji's death.
Whew. Well, that's that's good news, at least. I mean, that good news. She doesn't expect Claude. Not that her brother's dead. That's bad news, I guess.
In the chaos, Catalina escapes yet again.
That scamp.
Scallywag, even we might say. Miguel, however, isn't so lucky. Asuka seizes him, ready to exact revenge for Kenji's murder, but unaware that the man who pulled the trigger was standing right there the whole time. Claude says nothing, obviously, nor would he if he could, obviously. Claude leaves Asuka to her extracurricular interrogation techniques on Miguel, let's say, and heads back to the Love Media building to drop off the recovered packages. Donald's mysterious friend from overseas, Bill, is already preparing to leave for Shoreside Vale because whatever's inside those crates apparently needs to be authenticated somewhere very far away from accountability. Donald orders Claude to make sure the armored car carrying the packages arrives safely. Claude, acting as a one-man mobile security detail, tails the van. Anyone who gets too curious, like rival gangs, police, random drivers with unfortunate timing, is swiftly removed from the road. The armored van limps into Pike Creek, dented, scratched, smoking slightly from the hood, but mostly intact. Claude considers the job done and heads back to Staten Island.
Boom. All in a day's work, huh?
Ha-ha.
Hell yeah.
But actually, no, it's not done, Travis. Donald calls again. The armored van has been surrounded by SWAT. Yeah. Which seems less like a minor inconvenience and feels more like the end of the road. We've encountered a handful of police and a police chopper, but never the freaking SWAT. So, Claude is sent back to Pike Creek immediately, where he grabs a second armored van and becomes a rolling distraction. He barrels through the streets, drawing police attention by ramming into cars, running over civilians, and politely soliciting some enterprising day hookers. As bullets fly, as sirens scream, the real armored car slips away with Donald's friend and the packages.
Man, I would love to see how Claude picks up a hooker without talking. I guess he just winks and points at his crotch a lot.
Yeah, that's true. And then has to park perfectly at a perfect angle just next to her so that her pathing can connect with the car in the way that only early 2000s video games can. It's delightful. Claude, the ever-elusive driver who can lose a SWAT team in an armored van, survives the heat, loses the cops, and returns to Staten Island expecting praise, payment, or at least a decent cutscene.
Right?
Instead, he finds something worse. Donald Love is gone. Claude heads up to Donald Love's private rooftop garden, a place that ironically feels like a nice location to fight a final boss, but Donald isn't there. Nor is there a final boss or any boss. No crime boss. No, nobody. No dead body. Nothing. No note, no smug goodbye.
Wow.
Just an empty garden and the uncomfortable realization that Claude may have been working for a man who has now fully vanished from reality. Possibly by helicopter, submarine, or even cannibalism somehow.
Yeah, see, it's never obvious that Donald Love is a cannibal. He just leaves a trail of missing bodies and weird comments about having an appetite, and one very convenient corpse disposal service courtesy of Claude. But later on, circa GTA 4, a radio segment mentions that Donald Love has disappeared and that the extremely wealthy CEO is suspected of quote-unquote exotic dietary practices. So he probably eats people. I mean, that doesn't really explain his disappearance at the moment, but it does not explain it either. Also, it's the only place I could find to mention this fun fact about cannibalism, so I just wanted to do that and carry on.
Well, I'm really happy for Ray Wachowski for moving. Can you imagine his office being filled with
cannibal poop?
Yeah. Cannibal poop is way better of a phrase that I was trying to come up with, but yeah. With it makes it sound quaint too.
I know, right?
Oh, honey, there's cannibal poop on our carpet again.
Some motherfucker over in that other stall shitting thumbs. I can hear it.
With Donald officially off the board, Claude needs a new sugar daddy, so he heads back to the Panlantic construction site, the unfinished skyscraper and Asuka's new base of operations and current torture chamber. She's still there and still very much enjoying the slow, methodical punishment of Miguel, the unlucky cartel lieutenant left behind by Catalina, who is being tortured over a murder Claude committed. Here, Asuka finally fills in Claude about how Catalina and the Colombian cartel are terrified of him.
And Claude's like, is it because of all the killing?
Yeah, she says they're so terrified, in fact, that they've dispatched 3 separate death squads to hunt him down across the city. Asuka explains the problem plainly. If those squads run into Claude during his normal crime routine, things could get messy. So instead, to help him out, she has a plan. Claude will lure all 3 death squads into a single trap, one she's already prepared, and he will wipe them out in one decisive move.
Goddamn, I love her style. And you can tell she was also pretty ready to get this game over with.
Unfortunately, it's just a single bear trap. So, like,
there's a little bit of cheese on the sidewalk. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's a box with a stick. They're gonna have 15 dudes' heads just trapped under a box and their arms and legs wrangling. They're like, I don't know how to get out. Claude doesn't ask where the trap is. He doesn't ask how many guns are involved. He doesn't even ask if she's serious. He just nods, reloads, and gets ready.
Yeah. He also winked and pointed at his crotch, but she looked away and didn't see him do it.
Claude does exactly what Asuka asked. One by one, he fleshes out the Colombian death squads, baiting them across Shoreside Vale until they chase him straight into a yard in Pike Creek. That's where the Yakuza are waiting armed, organized, and horny for murder.
Yeah, which is coincidentally the name of Claude's autobiography.
I'd read it.
Yeah.
The Colombians never realize they've walked into a kill zone until it's too late. The best way to prepare a kill zone, I would say.
Hell yeah.
I'm not going in there. That looks like a kill zone. I'm turning around. When the shooting stops and the last death squad hits the pavement, Claude leaves the scene without ceremony. Another problem solved, another bridge burned. He heads back to Staten Island to check in with Asuka.
Yeah, after scrounging the corpses for souvenirs. Come on.
Back at the Panlantic construction site, Asuka is still at work, and Miguel is still very much denying that he killed her brother. Because he didn't. Claude did. Remember? However, between pain, fear, and exhaustion, Miguel finally breaks. He spills the truth about the cartel spank operation. It's bigger than anyone thought.
Yeah, what's fun is that he had been confessing for over an hour about this. But every time Asuka hit him with the whip, he yelled, "The spank is bigger than you think!" And she would whip him again and yell, "Yeah, and it's gonna get bigger if you don't talk!" It took a while for them to get on the same page.
But it was a nice casual conversation when they finally got to it, you know? He's still bleeding in his chair, out of breath, and he's like, "Oh, I see where we were confused here. Okay, no, this is good. I'm glad we're talking through this. You know, we could have started with this." And then he said, "You bitch," under his breath though, because he's really afraid of her.
He's super
as
afraid.
he should be.
Oh yeah, he's hard too.
Turns
The
out-
whole time it's weird. Like he's really fight. He's like, "God, I love it, but I hate it."
It sucks that he only just now learned this about himself. You know,
Right.
to discover a kink on your deathbed. Damn, dude.
It's the worst.
It turns out, unless your kink is dying, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
It turns out the Yardies aren't the real distribution network. They're just street-level noise. The real front is a chain of Kappa coffee stalls scattered across Liberty City. Clean branding, friendly service, highly illegal narcotics baked right into the supply chain. Asuka orders Claude to burn every one of them to the ground.
God damn, nothing is safe in this town. Not noodles, not laundry, not ice cream, not coffee. Good God. Not tacos, apparently.
Not even cannibals. God. Claude spends the next afternoon driving from Portland to Staten Island to Shoreside Vale, torching coffee carts. Liberty City's espresso supply collapses overnight, and with it, the cartel's clean distribution channel gone.
Yeah, and I was always wondering, why is Colombian coffee so revered? Now I know. Chocked full of spank.
Sense. On that note,
we both take sip. One's
right.
Ecuadorian, but I imagine they're in bed with them. I don't fucking know.
They gotta be, right? When the last kiosk is reduced to ash, Claude returns to the construction site. Maria is there now, hovering nearby, while Asuka continues questioning Miguel. He looks like a man who has seen the game's end credits already. He's just exhausted. That last thing he gives up is the big one. A plane carrying a massive shipment of spank is landing at Francis International Airport in 2 hours.
Oh, man. And Claude checks his watch, realizes he'll have to miss Wheel, wonders if he set his TiVo to record it. Good God, the good old days.
If Claude can intercept the plane, the cartel's operation might finally collapse. So Claude steals a boat. Yes, it's a police boat. Back to those. And heads into the water near the airport runway. And he waits. He watches the sky. And right on schedule, a small aircraft begins its descent. Claude steadies his aim and fires a rocket.
And as he fires it, he thinks, oh, man, I really hope that's the right plane.
The plane explodes on the runway, scattering its cargo across the tarmac like a spank-filled piñata. Claude races in, gathers the shipment, and speeds back towards Staten Island as police sirens light up the horizon behind him. He makes it back alive. When Claude returns to the construction site, the place is silent, the way he likes it. But Miguel is gone. Maria, though, also gone. Asuka, also gone, but dead. Yeah, it's just her body and a note. Catalina and the Colombian cartel come back while Claude was gone. They took Maria and left a $500,000 ransom demand. Despite all he's been through, all he's done, all he's earned, Claude doesn't have that kind of money. Not yet.
Yeah, and this was back in the early aughts, too, before assassination inflation. The work was done cheap. I mean, hell, you'd have to kill 500,000 cartel members to get anywhere close to $500,000 back then. That's like $1 a member.
Claude stumbles onto a ringing payphone near Liberty campus and meets King Courtney, the leader of the Jamaican Yardies, a man who sounds like he's always smiling even while actively plotting murder. Courtney needs a driver, but first Claude has to prove he's better than 3 other hopefuls.
It's like, man, that hasn't worked out around. Here we go again. Claude has to prove himself even though he's conquered every gang in the city. This man should have a reputation. He shouldn't have to prove himself. Come on.
But you know what? He wants to prove himself. This is what he's all about. He welcomes the challenge, and so he steals a fast car, heads to a stretch of wasteland near the stadium, and lines up against the competition, and, of course, defeats them easily. Sure, he returns his car mangled with blood, some hair, and a shoe hanging out of the hood, and several mysteriously dead jaywalkers littered throughout the city, but he won, goddammit. He then reports back to the payphone. Courtney is impressed, but now he wants to see Claude handle the uglier side of the job.
Cleaning dead guy out of the grill of a 98 Impala ain't ugly? Come on.
2 Yardie musclemen pile into Claude's car and direct him back to Portland, down into Hepburn Heights. The target this time is the Diablos, who apparently disrespected one of the Yardie women, a transgression punishable by drive-by execution. Claude cruises the neighborhood, opens fire from the driver's side, and leaves several Diablos reconsidering their tone, let's say, and also a few others dead. The Yardies approve. Claude returns to Staten Island to get what Courtney calls, quote, real work.
All right, Claude, good stuff. Thanks for doing that. Now, this is my Jamaican accent. Now, hey, man, now I need you to enter this data, churn it, generate a report for the Monday staff meeting at 5 o'clock pronto. This is real work I'm talking about.
Wow, that was like 7 accents all in one. That was good.
I said Mon at the end to tie it all together.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I didn't hear that part. I was too busy giving you the grief. Courtney's next move is escalation. He wants to stir up a full gang war, and the easiest way to do that is to steal cars from everyone. Wow. I don't know if that's actually the right way to do it, because how are they going to get to the war zone if they don't have cars? Anyway, there might actually be easier ways, but this doubled as both easy and fun. So Claude heads back to Portland, carefully lifts a mafia gang car and drops it at a Staten Island garage. Then it's another run for a Diablo car. Finally, Claude rolls into Yakuza territory in Torrington, steals one of their vehicles, and delivers that too. 3 cars, 3 gangs, one fun night on the town.
Hell yeah.
Claude checks back at the payphone. Courtney sends Claude to collect an old stash in Bedford Point. Claude finds the car in a quiet courtyard, and inside, no stash.
Huh.
Just a note. A note from Catalina? Apparently, killing Asuka wasn't enough. Now she wants Claude dead too.
And she's wanted Claude dead for a while, but also now as well.
Before Claude can react, a man sprints toward his car and explodes mid-stride. Catalina has sent spank-addicted suicide bombers after him. Vans block the exit. The courtyard becomes a kill box. Claude floors it, dodges explosions, blows up the blockade vehicles, and smashes his way out. He survives. He always survives. But this time, it was close, okay? A little too close.
And you got to imagine Claude, he's been driving around Liberty City, mowing down innocent pedestrians and jaywalkers left, right, and center. And now they're just sprinting toward his car and exploding. For at least a split second, he has to believe he's paying for his sins in hell, right? He's like, oh, God.
At this point, Claude can't prove King Courtney set him up, but the timing is extremely suspicious. Either way, Staten Island is officially done with him, and he with it. On the way back to Shoreside Vale, Claude's pager chirps. A man named D. Ice wants to talk. He's the leader of the Red Jacks, currently locked in a turf war with the Purple Nines over control of Wichita Gardens. Claude finds the payphone. D. Ice's first request is simple, in that he wants Claude to demonstrate what a perfect drive-by looks like.
And Claude is stoked. He's been teaching drive-bys down at the Y before he was incarcerated for that heist. So he runs home, he prints out some materials for the class, a few workbooks, some flashcards, plans a few homework assignments. He's so proud.
Claude really just wishes he'd just recorded himself doing the drive-by earlier for Courtney, but then he realizes that would be smoking gun evidence in court, so figures he'll just do another drive-by the next time he's out and about.
Makes sense.
So Claude steals a car, grabs an Uzi, probably not in that order, I don't know, and rolls through Purple Nine's territory, carefully avoiding Red Jacks while mowing down the competition. Satisfied, D-Ice calls again and drops one last piece of news. A Federal Reserve plane has crashed at Francis International Airport, and the runway is littered with platinum.
Huh.
Yeah, well, I'm not trying to react to that either, okay? Now, the platinum would be valuable enough for him to meet Maria's ransom. Ah, that makes sense. Claude's smarter than I am. Claude steals a heavy-duty van and drives out to Pike Creek, where the wreckage of the Federal Reserve crash has turned the ground into a glittering buffet of shiny materials. He loads the van with as much platinum as it can physically tolerate, then carefully delivers it to a nearby garage while police scanners light up across Shoreside Vale. Liberty City's finest are suddenly very interested in anyone hauling precious metals in bulk, but Claude slips through the cracks, drops off the goods, and heads back to Wichita Gardens to answer the ever-reliable payphone. D-Ice is thrilled with the platinum situation handled. He's ready to finish things with the Purple Nines once and for all. He's arranged a final showdown between the two gangs, and this showdown has no guns, no tricks. It's just a good old-fashioned street brawl.
And Claude's stoked, dude. He picks up a baseball bat, and along with D-Ice's brother, they drive to a nearby picnic area, which is the perfect spot for a bloody gang rendezvous. Just a little wayside,
Get yourself a nice red and white checkered blanket, and then beat someone so hard that the blanket turns all red.
Yeah.
That's good stuff, man. The fight is brief, brutal, and deeply one-sided. Claude and D-Ice's brother tear through the Purple Nines like T-ball practice. When it's over, fun fact, I played catcher in T-ball. Huh. That's how bad at T-ball I was. When it's over, Wichita Gardens, and I was 50 at the time. Everyone else was a kid, but I was. When it's over, Wichita Gardens officially belongs to the Red Jacks. De-Ice's brother heads off to deliver the news, and for the first time in a long while, Claude isn't immediately being shot at.
Yeah, and he sees the chunks of brain on the bat and smiles, another souvenir.
With the platinum sold and the gang war settled, Claude finally has the $500,000 Catalina demanded. He doesn't celebrate. He doesn't celebrate, though. Instead, Claude gets in the car and drives towards Cedar Grove, where the Colombian cartel's mansion waits for the exchange. Maria's life hangs in the balance.
Yeah, Liberty City has taken almost everything from him, but by God, it won't take away Maria, the two-timing woman leading him on so she can have unfettered access to drugs and silent dick.
What a woman.
Yeah.
Claude follows Catalina's helicopter to the Cochrane Dam. From the base of the enormous structure, it's immediately clear this isn't going to be subtle. The place is crawling with guards. Thankfully, Claude was wise enough to rearm himself like the apocalypse is nigh. He does a countdown, silent in his head, of course.
4. I'm starting with 4. No one really does that, but I'm starting with 4. 3. Lots of people start with 3 on a countdown, but why? Why not 4, 2? No one starts at 2. That's ridiculous. It doesn't really give anyone enough time to 1. Some people start at 1 and go to 3, but that's a count up and not a count down. Wait, what was I doing?
And then Claude blows apart the guards at the main gate by detonating their vehicles, then pushes his way up the dirt access road, moving higher, closer. He stays calculated. He pulls out the sniper rifle and begins clearing the compound, methodically, quietly.
I gotta stay quiet and methodical. Except the gun. Now the gun is loud. What if I shush the gun after I fire it? Will that help?
Bang!
Shh, gun. Shh, 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 shh.
Bang! Bang!
Shh.
Bang!
There you go. There you go. That's better. That's better. Good gun.
When Colombian trucks try to flee, Claude switches to the rocket launcher and erases the idea of escape entirely. Above him, the helicopter circles. Ooh, this is looking good for our show, Travis. Claude reaches the top of the dam and finds Maria guarded by 3 Colombians who never get the chance to explain themselves. Pop, I'm still a silent gun. Pop, pop, pop.
Fuck yeah.
He frees her. He then looks up. Catalina is still there in the helicopter, hovering, taunting, refusing to let the story end without her. Claude shoulders the rocket launcher, waits for the helicopter to line up, and fires once.
This is going to be pretty loud, I bet.
But you...
Oh, that's not too bad.
That's all it takes.
Hell yeah.
The helicopter spins, loses control, and explodes in midair before slamming into the dam. Catalina is dead. Moments later, it's Claude's favorite. It's coming up. Silence.
Oh, fuck yeah.
The Colombian cartel is gone. The mafia is gone. The Yakuza is gone. That helicopter's gone. Every boss, every fixer, every enemy who ever tried to own Claude is either dead, missing, or satisfied enough to just leave him alone. There's nothing left to shoot at after that. Claude and Maria walk along a pier at the top of the dam. The city far below them. The noise finally gone. Claude doesn't say a word. He never does. The end.
Sweet, sweet justice.
Oh, my God. That got way too close without a helicopter explosion, Travis. I'll be honest.
11th hour on that bitch.
I mean,
Crazy.
Claude could have theoretically shot a helicopter anytime he wanted during his adventures, but I feel like that's cheating. It's got to be part of it. It's got to be part of the script.
That's a good point. Also, no one is concerned about the integrity of the dam after the helicopter crashed into it. I believe we should be alerting citizens that shit might get fucked pretty soon because there's a dam that's had a helicopter crashed into it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, counterpoint, shit's been fucked this whole time. If you're a citizen in this town, you're always on the lookout for something. You might actually welcome the sweet relief of death with sudden drowning. That might be the best way to go, honestly.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, getting washed away by city water is maybe better than spank fumes from the freighter ship. I don't know. I'm not anthropologist or whatever you got to be to figure that out. I don't know.
You're really going at it if there's fumes when you spank. Wow.
That's how I start a fire in the woods. It's the best part about having chapped foreskin is that you can start a fire on the spot. That's why my dad didn't circumcise me. He's like, he's going to be an outdoorsman. Probably going to want to start a fire with that.
That reminds me, I never responded to you when you asked if I would go camping with you. No. No, I won't.
To be fair, I asked in this order. I said, number 1, are you circumcised? 2, do you want to go camp?
Yeah, and I didn't say no until just now. Like, I was on board with just those 2 questions.
Fair enough. Well, what'd you think? I mean, when you played the game, which you did, we all did back in the day.
Oh yeah.
The story was obviously second. You didn't so much care. You were just kind of enthralled with the structure of the game and the city and the open worldness. And a lot of people didn't even try to finish the game. They just used it as a playground. But now with the story,
they spawned in tanks with the cheat codes and just run people over with tanks, dude.
But now that we've got the story in front of us and we've gone through it, and some of it honestly it came back to me, like Ray Machowski was memorable. Like I can remember the exact layout of where his office was in the middle of this park, this little dip you had to go in to get. Does the story, when you reflect back on it, does it make you think, oh, that was actually more interesting than I gave it credit for at the time, or is it all just silly video game filler?
I mean, I think it's a silly video game filler for sure, but I do respect the story because lesser games wouldn't have tried so hard with the story. But in this case, they weave it together perfectly. Like the whole idea of chasing packets of cocaine on the ocean with a plane. All it is just adding the same rote script to new verbs, basically. It's like this time you have to be on the water in a boat and you have to collect the dots. It's Pac-Man, but like cooler, you know? And you kind of need that narrative cohesion to make that at least fun or enjoyable. And this game did it, man. I remember very vividly, probably one of my strongest video game memories is when you first get to that mansion in the last part of the game. Because like the whole game, you know it's big. And for half of the game, you're blocked off and you can only get to like a third of the game. And then it opens up and you can get to 2/3 of the game. And you're like, holy crap, this game is huge. It's massive. It's small by today's standards, but massive at the time. And the whole time, you know, at some point, you're like, there's still things I can see that I haven't gotten to yet. There's still places I can go, and the game is gating it from me. And so when the game finally opens up and you get into that mansion environment, that's like seared into my brain because it was mind blowing to like be there. You're there in the thing, you know? It was great.
Yeah, I remember too being a bit overwhelmed and even intimidated by the game's scale. Thinking like up until that point, any game that I played, for the most part, I knew I could explore every inch. And that was one where I was like, I don't think I'll see all of this ever. There's way too much. There's, you know, I think, I believe you and I have talked about this. If not, I would recommend Any Austin to you just because he's very good about, you know, both philosophically and just, practically talking about the liminal spaces in games and how they're designed and how they're not really intentionally liminal, but going back to them now, it's like this game specifically I think of is just full of those places where there's like giant beaches that are there for context and just having that as a place because it represents a place in the world, but it doesn't have a purpose in the game. It's just there for art, and you can kind of go there, and that's still impressive to me that they went those extra mile to, you know, not make an invisible wall, but to say, hey, this is part of the world. We're never going to use it, but it's here for you. And I don't know.
We didn't talk about this before, but I swear I literally just watched the Grand Theft Auto 3 Liminal Spaces episode of Any Austin last night. Like,
oh, nice.
And so it's super fresh in my head. Yeah, I freaking love it. I've always my son's really into like liminal spaces and stuff, and like so whenever I try to talk to people who don't understand the concept, I always describe it as liminal spaces are like a terrarium for humans. It's basically like some alien or something that thinks they understand humans.
Oh, yeah.
Like built this space and they're like, I think humans like benches or something. So let's put a bench there. And it's not really functional. It's probably the same way that like a fish in an aquarium feels. Like we put like things in there. We're like, I think fish like these things. So we put them in there. And it's funny because then watching the Any Austin video, he explains it in a way that honestly does feel like that. Like if you think of game developers, they're basically building a terrarium for humans. It's like, it doesn't need to be fully realistic. It just needs to sell itself as a place where humans would be, but they're intentionally, for, you know, technological reasons or whatever, they're not full of humans. They're not there. It's just, this is the terrarium for humans that we built. Explore it if you want. And that's it, you know? And, but yeah,
I love that. I love that as a descriptor. I never thought of it quite in that framing it like that, but that is perfect. It's just a place that people thought humans would like. That's perfect. Also, I do want to mention that I listened recently to a podcast, the Lex Friedman podcast, and he interviews Dan Houser, who is, of course, the brains, or at least a good chunk of the brains behind most of Rockstar's games. And he reflects back on, basically all of Rockstar's games, including, Red Dead and all that. But talking about like how this was a pivotal moment in gaming and maybe one of the most important games in gaming. Of course, he's not saying this about himself. The interviewer's kind of laying this on him, like talking about like at this point in time, you had the tools to just make a big playground, and you could have left it at that. But instead, you focus so much on narrative and making that an integral part of the story, even though no one really paid attention to it. But without it, it's not the same. It's not
right.
A good game. So he talks a little bit about how like movies and of course, he's a huge film buff, and you can obviously tell the influences both in this. Vice City has a lot of like 80s and like Scarface type influences, and how movies shaped it. I highly recommend listening to that interview. It's super long. It's like 3 hours, but I'd never heard Dan Houser speak so candidly and like openly about the genesis to a lot of his ideas and why things are the way they are with Rockstar, and just like, regardless of what you think about them as a company, I know there's controversial issues with basically any company. They really do put a lot of focus and attention and work toward like creating a world that is both fun to play in and also has all these little through lines and stories. And I don't know, it's so impressive what they do.
Yeah, for sure. I'll take a listen to that. Sounds interesting.
Yeah, do that. I'll put it in the show notes. Fuck. All right. Well, nice. Everyone, I think that's going to include another Tales series and episode. So thank you for listening.
Yes, and please subscribe if you aren't already subscribed. And if you'd be so kind, give us some ratings or a review wherever you're listening. It really, really does help. And also, if you want to reach out, you can find us over at Blue Sky. I'm at Caleb J. Ross, and Trav is at Trav Plays Games.
That's right. And in getting those reviews and getting some of that feedback and that communication going is a good way to convince us that you like these and that we should continue to make more. So please do that. Keeps the energy up over here. So if you have corrections, complaints, or just any especially spicy take or non-spicy take, or you're having fun, you love it, send your emails to polykilledpodcast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to check out everything over on the website. We got way more podcasts on the network. So if we're in hiatus putting one together, you can go listen to some of those while you wait. And I want to thank a big thanks to Brad Sucks for our intro and outro theme. And of course, once again, thank you so much for being here and listening.
Goodbye, dear sweet listener.
And with that, the tale has been told!